people, welcome to the creative process. This is Raul Rugamba. I'm the founder of African Colors. Creative process is a space we have created for creatives, for amazing people out there wanting to learn how ideas are born. We believe creativity ideas have a certain pattern that we can follow and learn from the people that create those ideas and be ourselves creatives, or just come up with ideas and be just idea makers. Meet us every Monday from 9 a.m. and don't forget to follow us on all our social medias. We are Africa in Colors. Hello, happy Monday. How are you?
Happy Sunday or happy Monday?
No, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, yes, happy Monday for the viewers here recording. Yes, happy Monday.
How is it?
Things are okay, man. You know, I'm in your studio. This is kind of cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's start with a quick introduction. Who are you?
You're not doing the introduction?
No.
Okay, I'm doing myself.
I don't know you.
You
I just met you.
Oh my God. I'm Eric Soul, known as Eric Soul, but also known also born Karengera Kirenga. Yes, I'm a DJ by trade, creative entrepreneur. I've been in Rwanda since 2011. Tried to create some bridge, push innovation, create conversation through the medium of music, which is my favorite area, but it expands into other stuff. From culture and creativity, so performances, music, art, design, and all those kind of things. But the medium is really music.
Amazing. You have been in 100 countries across the world, right? So that's a lot of ideas you can come up with. That's a great environment to be in each country, etc. But let me start with asking you, what is the greatest thing you are proud of when you created something, an event you did, an idea you came up with? Just give me one thing you are very proud of.
Man, listen, the experience have been so diverse. As you said, I've been to different countries, and I had the chance to put ideas in different countries, from inception to manifestation, and also be part of other people's ideas in all those different countries. So it's very difficult to pinpoint one thing, but since we're in the context of Rwanda, what I would say is that where I come from. I am the son of somebody who has been very significant in terms of culture and music here, Kairebga, and I was very, very proud to launch a series of events called Inganzo ya Kairebga, which was basically at a time where the Rwandan music was going into a very urban type of direction. I was like, okay, you know what? Something that is very important is like, wherever the music is going, they need to always be rooted into the tradition. And I was able to do like an annual series, a 3-part series of events called Inganzo ya Kairebga, the inspiration of Kairebga, where the artist was meeting some young people, working with young people. There was a multimedia part of the event, there was a conversation part of the event, and there was performance part of the event. And also a transmission where the elder, the iconic Cecil Kairebga was, passing on the stage to young people. And we did that for 4 years. So in the context of Rwanda, that's the one I will talk about since I'm in your podcast. But they've been like, yeah. Yeah.
But let me jump on that. Do you think if your mom was an accountant or a health worker, do you think you will be in this space?
I would be in this space, but by now I would probably be traveling the world, DJing in many clubs. I wouldn't be so rooted here in Kigali. I would be like doing what I was doing 15 years ago, which is traveling the world, answering to booking and DJing. I'll be like, in the footstep of, the top DJs of the world, the Black Coffee, going to festival, going to Ibiza, going to Miami and doing gigs. I will be just focusing on the DJing thing.
Mm-hmm. So that means, let me ask you this.
Oh damn, you thinking that's gonna be deep. Don't go too deep, bro.
No, it's very important because here we are trying to figure out how people come up with great ideas so that we can motivate someone to come up with an idea, a great idea. So I'm trying to, let me ask you this. Do you think being in a certain environment pushes you to come up with an idea?
Totally. Totally. You're totally informed by your environment. You're totally informed by your experiences. You're totally informed by what you observe. So that's what I was explaining a bit earlier. If I wasn't the son of my mom, I would have been more...
Well, you have to be a son of your mom.
If I wasn't the son of the artist that's been like pushing Rwandan music, traditional Rwandan music, outside of Rwanda for more than half a century, maybe the direction I would have taken as a creative would have been a little bit different. I was, all the influences from the DJing, from the black music, from the hip hop, from the house music, from the dance culture, from the electronic music, all those influences, the one that supersedes everything, it's my heritage. So that's why I had to mix, that's why you see me in some different spaces. Sometimes you see me like DJing with like some 25 years old and we're playing some house music, like very banging music. Another time you're gonna see me playing some like, 90s hip hop in the clubs. Or another day you're gonna see me like, part of a fashion show, just like try to create some kind of a landscape for the fashion show. All those experiences, all those interests, everything was superseded by my cultural heritage. It was important to continue in the line of where I was coming from and take everything that I've learned, put that into a package and to be in a line of continuation. That's why we're in the studio in Kigali.
So do you think when you're trying to put together an idea, do you think you go back to your roots and that's where you get
I don't go back. The roots doesn't leave me. The roots is always there, like whispering in my ear, and give me ideas, give me direction, informing me, guiding me into, to stay a little bit authentic. I could have gone into plenty of different direction. For example, when I start traveling a little bit, I was in Brussels before. Brussels is a very safe environment, but the DJ culture was coming from the UK, London. So when I moved into the UK, I was attracted by the diversity of the UK clubland. And UK clubland is crazy. You get all those different sound, from jazz to house to pop to R&B to hip hop to weird sound, electronic. It's very, very, very diverse. But the thing is, like, you can assimilate to somebody else's influences, but the way, you can be lost in the sauce, as I said. If I was trying to copy everything I was doing, for example, when I was doing hip hop, I came as a hip hop DJ, as a skilled hip hop DJ, managed to get a little bit of attention in the UK when they really know about hip hop, about the DJ culture. But what made me stand out is because I was incorporating African music into the mix. That's why I became a little bit different. When I was putting on live music event, I take very good musicians, but I was always like try to bring, African music, African culture. The idea was to really highlight. It was, when I arrived into the UK, it was just after the genocide, so 96, 97, and so in the UK, the big idea that I had at that time was like, how come when I come here with my French accent in the UK as a black guy, and I'm saying that I'm from Rwanda, people are asking me, where is Rwanda? I was a bit shocked by that. I was like, how come you don't know? You don't know what just happened? We had one of the worst crime against humanity being committed in Rwanda, and you don't know about it. So the idea, because of the heritage, I was like, okay, you know what? The music is such a vehicle to push ideas, to push culture, to raise awareness about certain issues. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put my identity in the forefront and just try to incorporate that into my mode of expression. And that's how, that was the big idea that I've been pursuing ever since.
Amazing. So, do you think someone in London has more chances to be creative than someone in Rwanda?
There's a fluid ecosystem. They've got the difficulty. If you speak to somebody from London now, they're probably going to say, there's this problem and there's issues and stuff like that. But there's an ecosystem that is fluid. There's record label, there's publishing house, there's a system that makes IP, intellectual property and copyright, being rewarded. So things are working. So when things are working, there's more chance if you have talent, if you have perseverance, and if you get the right network and you put the right work ethic into it, there's more chance for you to be successful. And then you also need to define what is successful. There's so many artists creative people who are making a living for themselves, for sustaining themselves without having to be super successful, super visible. You know, they can still, you know, pay their rent, sustain their family, sustain a livelihood, being creative, being paid for it, and finding avenues because things are working. The ecosystem of the cultural industry is working. There's institutions that are working, the infrastructure that are working. There are experts in that field that knows how things are working. They can adapt certain language, they can unlock finances, they can unlock capacity, they can help, they can push, they can support, you know, talent. So when your talent is like put out, you know, there's gazillion competition, but you know, when your talent is there, there's a highly likely chance that your talent is gonna enable you to sustain a decent lifestyle.
Interesting. So as I mentioned, we are trying to figure out the pattern in how people come up with ideas and see if we can study that and share with people and push people to create more ideas, innovative ideas. So what is your next big thing, the next big move?
The next big thing is to have that conversation in the sphere of power, the conversation we have now. The next idea is to bring it to, because I think that, you know, people, you know, who have ideas in terms of expression of ideas as creative and they want to apply it, as I mentioned before, they need to have like a conducive environment. So the conducive environment, it's about policies, it's about tax regulation, it's about social status. So we need to take that conversation to higher spheres, sphere of power, decision makers, and have those conversations about to explain how important the creative cultural industry is. You know, we need to come with some statistic because, you know, the thing is like, you know, when you look into all the stats, 80% of the activity in the cultural industry, cultural creative industry is informal. So that means that nobody really will know what's going on. There's activities, there's, you know, concert, there's fashion shows, there's art exhibition, but in terms of like, you know, making the statistic and to be able to calculate what is the contribution of the art into the GDP, we don't quite know what's going on. When we're making money, you know, artists who are making money or creative or artist designers, when they manage to sustain themselves, it's very informal. So what does that mean in terms of the social status? You know, if something happened to them, are they going to have healthcare? Are they able to contribute to a certain tax bracket? So we need to bring that conversation to a higher sphere so we can design policies that create a fluid ecosystem so we can like all benefit, the country can benefit, and also for the creative, they're gonna be able to enhance their talent and to go maybe beyond the border of Rwanda. My ultimate point is I want, when people talk about culture, when they talk about creativity, now the conversation has shifted from the West to Africa. All the big companies are coming to Africa. You know, Universal, big designers house, art gallery, they come to look for talent here in Africa. In sport, it's the same thing. And we don't have the means to retain our talent. We don't have the means to create a conducive environment so we can exploit them for ourselves. So the ultimate point for me would be that, you know, when we talk about Rwanda, that we can be in the same type of conversation as South Africa with the Amapiano and the theater and the contemporary dance. We can be the same conversation as Nollywood in Nigeria and jollof rice for culture, for food. We can be the same conversation as Ethio Jazz from Ethiopia. They've got a jazz that is like known since the 1960s. Those artists are touring all over the world. You know, I want to be the same conversation as Soukous, for example. Everybody knows about those things. Those are cultural products that export globally. And us here in Rwanda, I think it's time for us to do something, you know, with the institution, the artists, the creative, the young people. You know, they're gonna keep on pushing themselves. So I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about those people who are pushing. Do they have a conducive environment? You know, can they learn more skills? Do they have infrastructure to practice their skills, spaces, time, money to practice those skills? So yeah, that's the big idea. That, you know, when you talk about African culture, in the top 5, Rwanda should be there.
Yes, definitely. So actually, what you mentioned is leading me to my next question, which is how can we, or how can you inspire the next creator, the next young guy out there to create something, to come up with an idea that they can either monetize or contribute to their communities or their countries.
The concept of AID is very interesting, because I believe in the concept that there is a tank floating around of ideas. I'm convinced that there are people all over the world. We are what, 7 million people, 8 billion people on Earth. I'm convinced that sometimes at any given moment, there's like 1,000 people have the same idea at the same moment. Now, an idea that is not implemented, what is it going to become? So, how to inspire the next idea? The idea for me would be to
Think.
No, I'm not thinking. Just like I just try to put the word into it, because, you know, without sounding too.
This is very important for someone out there.
No, it's very important. You know,
yes.
the thing is, like, you know, you need to believe in yourself. You need to, you know, really believe in yourself. You need to keep on pushing. But I don't want to be the one to push people to, you know, push an idea. Like when you talk about ideas, are you talking about like administrative idea, business idea, or creative ideas?
Anything. So you can come up with an idea in any field. But
So
do you have to go out? Do you have to sit in a bathroom? Do you have to, you know, how can you push that guy to be in an environment? Of course, he doesn't have to build an arena where he is. But how do we use what we have?
But whatever scale of your ideas, you know, you need to be able to articulate it in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
You need to listen to your own internal voice. If there's an idea that comes into your mind and you know the environment in which you are, just try to question your first instincts. Maybe that idea need to be pushed a bit further. So maybe you need a bit more resilience. Maybe you need to push a little bit harder. Maybe you need to have a little bit of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to come out of your comfort zone and be able to talk to the next person about that idea.
Yeah. Do you think passion can feed your next idea or your biggest idea, your big idea?
The passion is going to be the envelope of your idea. You know, that's going to be but that's not enough. You know, there's like all the things that I mentioned. You know, you need to believe in you need to have a strong belief. You need to have the resilience. You need to keep on pushing. You need to go out of be comfortable going out of your comfort zone. You need to be able to do things that are not comfortable of doing to be able to nourish that idea. So your envelope can resist all the obstacle, all the steep mountain, all the peaks and spikes that are gonna try to alterate your idea or just try to deviate your idea. You need to be very resilient and very pushy with it. You know, you can become, at some point you can become a little bit even annoying, you know, to other people. But you need to believe in your idea, your original ideas.
Amazing. So I love your music. I love listening to wherever you're playing somewhere, and I hope people will be able to follow your work and be inspired, and from there create their own sounds, their own ideas that can change their communities, their world, themselves. So
Thank you. That was nice.
Welcome. How do someone reach you?
Oh, okay. But listen, I created, you know, this is the next ID, for example. You know, I had to create to not be lost in the sauce, as I say all the time. You know, it's so very diverse, the music style, the music identity of people, so many diverse, there's so many genre. When I had to get a bit of an identity, I created a music policy, you know, because when people asking me, you know, what kind of music do you play? Oh, I play hip hop, I play R&B, I play jazz, I play, you know, I play garage, I play drum and bass, I play, you know, pop, I play, you know, all sort of things, funk, soul, and when I incorporate the African music, then, you know, there's like, you know, I can play the traditional music of Mali, like the desert blues, I can, you know, Kweto or Afrobeat. So to bring everything together, the idea that I had at the time to find like one single word that can define the music policy, it was called Afro Groove. Afro Groove, the groove Afro, in one word without the E. And Afro Groove, little by little, became a bit of a brand, and then I registered it as a company. So if you want to follow me on any kind of social media, you just type Afro Groove for Instagram, for YouTube, for Mixcloud, for Vimeo. You type Afro Groove without the E, and you're gonna fall into some of my material, my music, my TV shows, my interviews, my blog. Everything is Afro Groove.
Amazing. So this is African Colors, and we are in the African Colors studio.
Nice studio, very colorful.
Thank you so much. So we believe that collaboration is key, and one thing leads to another. So we will be happy together with our music producer Danny here. We'll be happy to bring value to Afro Groove in one or another way. So let's get to work. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man, Raoul. What you're doing is amazing. It's cool.
Thank you so much. So this will lead definitely to something, inspire someone out there. And we look forward to seeing you again here, doing more work. And
we have a space now. You created a space where things can happen, which is kind of cool.
Yes, let's get to work now. And so thank you so much for everyone listening out there. See you next Monday. Remember, follow us on all our social medias. We are African Colors. And this rendezvous happens every Monday from 9 a.m. Thank you so much, and see you next. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Raoul. Peace. Oh, like this.
Thank you, beautiful people, for being with us today. We hope you learned one or two things with our amazing guest. See you next Monday, same time, same place. And don't forget to follow us on all our social medias. We are African Colors, and have a beautiful Monday. Create, build, and connect. See you.